Thank you for having me. It's been really great to be here. I'm going to essentially just kick off our discussion from a builder perspective, provide some reaction to these comments, and then have a discussion as a builder group. I'll just tell you a little bit of background about myself. I've only been with Lennar and Lennar Ventures for a few months. I came from a global marketing agency where I was working with big technology brands like Samsung and Motorola, who are always on the cutting edge of the next wave of technology. So it's very interesting to now be on this side where we're trying to make sense of what do we do with all this technology for the masses. And it's impressive of all the activity and energy and effort, but it's a lot of stuff. And it's a lot to get your hand around and make sense of, and to really bring it to life in a simple, compelling, meaningful way for the home buyer. And so that's what we are working on all the time. Just to build on some of the comments from my panel friends here, I certainly agree with the comment that's been made a couple times over the last couple of days, and that David made, is that our ultimate goal is to differentiate the new home from the existing home. And there's never been a greater opportunity for us to do that with all the technology that's in place, whether it's the smart home technology, solar, the affordable luxuries that we can now add, all the energy efficiencies that we can have. The industry's never had a better opportunity to differentiate itself more than it does now. So it is a really great and exciting time. It's also really overwhelming, because also going back to the comment about how people really want smart home, but no one knows where to get it or how to go about it. Only 8%, that's incredible. And I think what that really says is that retail's not the answer. And that the retail channel, for a variety of reasons, we don't need to talk about that industry in detail, but they clearly are not the ones that can bring that to the forefront and make it real for consumers. And that has been the marketplace instinct, is that it's up to the retailer to pull together the right pieces, pull together a service plan, and then the manufacturers will create the push-pull from retail. I think now is the time that home builders need to adopt almost a retailer mentality in terms of how we're going to bring adoption of smart home to life. So to me, that means we need to find partners that can really bring us the trifecta of quality, service, and value. And there's a lot of those examples here today, and I think what we've learned is that it's going to really rely on the builder to deliver the service and be the service provider, and that ultimately the buck is going to stop with the builder who put these products in the home, and we've got to be prepared to service that. And that's where it's probably very overwhelming, and I would say that's where our focus is we know there's a lot of great products out there, we know there's a lot of great platforms, but we now need to bring it together in a really simple package solution that we can basically put ourselves on the hook for. Because if they call us to say, my thermostat's not working, it's not an option to say, oh, just a minute, I got to make a few phone calls and I'll get back to you once I hear from the service person or the service person or the service person. No, we all grew up in the retail mentality. Whoever sold it to me is on the hook. So that's where I think the builder responsibility is going to really come in this space, and we've got to find a package solution that we can confidently sell and confidently service, and that takes some reimagining, if you will. I also think if we adopt sort of this retail analogy, what Nest is doing is a great example of how we need to be communicating with the buyers, in that we have to talk about the lifestyle benefits and not the features. They don't, talking about wires and protocols and bits and parts and pieces is, you lost them at protocol. And we have to be able to communicate with them in vignettes about how this is going to improve their life. You just did a really impressive job doing that with the Nest product, and we have to be able to do that in our homes as well, especially in the model homes. Really move it from, this is, what my thermostat, how it works, to this is how it's going to improve your life, and these are the connectivities it's going to make. I think it's interesting to me that entertainment is so low on many of the research elements, but I think consumers just don't know that they can have that as part of their package. And they assume that they have to go to a retailer aftermarket. They don't even know that they can expect that from a home builder. And they're preconditioned to think that they can only get the bare minimum versus to get the value. And then that goes back to why this is such a great opportunity for the new home builder, is that there's so many opportunities in today's market for us to surprise and delight the new home buyer, that they can get functionality and lifestyle features hopefully included in their new home that they never imagined that they could afford or that they would have even experienced, because they don't even know that that's available to them. So that's what our job is now, is how to surprise and delight them with functionality and lifestyle features that they could have never imagined that they could have in their $200,000 home, and then deliver on that promise with a seamless service, which is easier said than done. It's a really big ask, and it's going to definitely take some, just all the technology work that's been done in the upfront. I think the builders now need to think about functioning like a retailer and having the buck stop with the builder in terms of delivering the service to really make this work. But if it's done well, it'll be really an incredible home run for everybody in the industry.